Hey YouTube, this is Dre here with Dual Bros. Today I'm going to be showing you my variation of a dragon deck profile. You'll notice it has a lot of red eyes variants in it because most of the dragons work better with red eyes, but let's get on into it. Alright, first we're starting off with 2 copies of the Blackstone of Legend. Already seeing that red eye show its head. Most of you know what it does. For those of you that don't, you can summon this card and tribute it, special summon a red eyes monster from your deck. Also, if it's in the graveyard, you can shuffle a red eyes monster back into your deck and add this card to your hand. It's a very good card, once per turn although, but it's very good for recycling. Running 2 copies of Black Metal Dragon. Most of y'all are probably saying all types of things about you should run more than one, you should run this, you should run that. This is not a Red Eyes deck profile. I repeat, this is not a Red Eyes deck profile. Alright, next we're running 1 Divine Dragon Hapakareth. For those of you that do not know this card, it's very nifty. Once per turn, I can discard 1 card, then target 1 dragon type monster in my graveyard and add that target to my hand. It's useful for cards that I can't get back that I need immediately. They only say target dragon types, but luckily, I'd say about 99% of my deck is dragons, except for 2 special cards that we'll get into later. I'm running Keeper of the Dragon Magic. Normal summon or special summon, discard 1 card, add a poly to the hand. He's very useful for my fusions. This is a pretty heavy fusion deck. I'm running 2 Background Dragons. Background Dragon, that's a really good card. If this card is in your graveyard and you control no other monsters, you can actually special summon this card and a level 4 or lower dragon type monster from your hand. But unfortunately, background gets banished after this effect goes off and he ends up back in the graveyard. Instead, he's banished. But he is a very good starter. Let's say you combo off with Dragon Shrine, send a red eyes to the grave, send him to the grave. He's in the grave already. Let's say you have a level 4 or lower. Special summon him from the grave, then a level 4 or lower dragon from the hand. Completely bypassing your first normal summon, so you still have it later, giving you 2 special summons that you can either use for link material. I wouldn't necessarily say Xyz material because it is a level 5 or a level 4 or lower, but it's still a pretty good first play. I'm running 1 Summon Skull. Yes, the nostalgic card. Not better than Dark Magician, but a close second. It's a level 6 25 beater. I am also running 1 Meteor Dragon Red Eyes Impact. I'm only running this for the necessity to get my Black Comet Dragon out more consistently, because seeing as how it is a red eyes card, I can use Blackstone of Legend to recycle it back into my deck so that I can fuse for the dragon a second time at least. I'm running 1 Dark Magician. Yes, I know what you're saying. Oh, Dark Magician, he must be running Dragoon. Well, guess what? I am. Running 3 Red Eyes. Again, this is not a Red Eyes deck profile. Although, yes, I know it looks like it should be, but it is not. This is my own variation of a dragon type deck. These combo pieces just happen to fit very well. 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon, Black Flare Dragon. He's a nifty Gemini. Once he's summoned, he has a nice effect where if my opponent takes any battle damage involving him, he can deal an additional 24 at the end of the battle. At the end of the battle phase, yeah. I am running 1 Dark Arm Dragon. This is a very nifty card. All my monsters are darks. Once he's in the grave, I can use Divine Dragon Hippocrate to discard one card, and I can just add him back to my hand, controlling my graveyard pretty decently. I could potentially have enough fodder to bring him back multiple times throughout the duel. And his effect is I can banish one card from my graveyard, and I can literally pop one card on the field. And no, it is not a once per turn. It is based on how many darks you have to use. So in my particular circumstance, it'd be nice to have 3 darks, special summon him, but before using his effect, try to dump as many other darks to the grave. That way you can have more than one destruction material should you need it. I am running 2 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragons. Thank you to the ban list, Konami, for pretty much semi-limiting this card. Giving me the option. Oh, it's completely unlimited. So says my co-compatriot Ryan.
I'm not here.
You know, he's not here. But thank you for completely unbanning and unlimiting Red Eyes Darkness Metal. This card is extremely useful, especially in the sense of special summoning monsters from my hand or grave upon its summoning. It's very useful. Alright, that's it for the monsters. Now we'll move on to the spells and traps. And speaking of traps, I'm running 2 hand traps of worthy notice. The Ghost Ogre and White Snow Rabbit. Yeah, that one got away from me. This is a very decent hand trap in my opinion. It's better than the Ash Blossom in a way. It still allows your opponent to get off their effect should they activate it, but upon activating, the card is destroyed. This works for spells and traps and monster effects as well. So despite whatever your opponent activates, they can still resolve their effect, but you might want to wait till an essential monster hits the field. That way, once that monster hits the field, you can immediately get rid of it, saving yourself from any problematic troubles in the future. Alright, that's my hand traps. Moving on to spells and traps. We are running 3 Allure of Darkness. As I said, about 99% of my deck is Dark Dragons, so there will be plenty of dark monsters to work with. Allure of Darkness lets you draw 2, just banish 1 dark from your hand. I am running 1 Pot of Avarice. Pot of Avarice is a very good card for this deck, seeing as how I like to recycle my Red Eyes. Also, multiples of my dragons, I can just put them back in my deck. Give it a good shuffle, draw 2, possibly draw back into the same dragon. This is mainly for my draw ability. I am running 3 Dragon Shrines. This will help me get into Background Dragon, Red Eyes Black Dragon, and other variants in my deck. As I said, my deck is mainly going to be around sending stuff to the graveyard. Dragon Shrine really helps with that. Foolish Burial, another card to help me send to the grave to make sure I can get off my combo pieces. You know what it does. 1 for 1, not all for 1. Calm down, Izuku Midoriya. I can send 1 monster from my hand to the grave and special summon a level 1 from my hand or deck. Easy access to my Blackstone of Legend. 1 Red Eyes Insight. No, this is not a Red Eyes deck. I know you're seeing a lot of Red Eyes cards. This is not a Red Eyes deck. Shush you. Alright. It says I can send 1 Red Eyes monster from my deck, or send 1 Red Eyes monster from my hand or deck to the grave and add 1 Red Eyes spell or trap. This is extremely good to work off with Black Metal Dragon. Summon Black Metal, uses effect to add Red Eyes Insight. I can dump another card to the graveyard. As I said, my deck mainly revolves on sending monsters to the graveyard. I can dump another Red Eyes to the graveyard and then search a spell or trap of my choosing. I'm running the 1 Regeki. And I know what you're gonna say, hey, those are Red Eyes cards. Is this a Red Eyes deck profile? No, it's not. I'm running 2 Red Eyes fusions. Mainly for Dragoon. Yeah, he's in here. Yeah, you'll have to get used to it. Nah, I will kill you. 2 Polarizations. As I said, this deck is very fusion heavy. and one Dragon's Mirror. For most of you that don't know what Dragon's Mirror does, basically I send any number of dragons from my graveyard and banish it, and I can fusion summon just using the graveyard. It's almost an exact copy of Magicianalized Fusion. Actually, I think it is an exact copy of Magicianalized Fusion. It's just for dragons. How nifty. Alright, that's it for my spells. Moving on to the traps. Alright, traps. I had to get a little creative with this. I didn't want to use the Red Eyes traps because my deck doesn't flow well with pure Red Eyes cards. I only have a few in there, but because it's not a proper Red Eyes deck, it's a bit hit and missy. So I have alternatives. Should you decide to put the Red Eye spells and traps in there, you can. It might actually make the deck a bit more efficient for your style of play, but just for my style of play, I just got some backups for me. Running Dimensional Fusion. Dimensional Fusion is a nice card. When my opponent declares an attack, I can target that attacking monster and banish it.
Prison.
Dimensional Prison? What did I say?
Fusion.
Dimensional Fusion. Oh shit. I mean, crap. This is Dimensional Prison.
Yeah, watch that fucking ring.
Oh my god, he's so bad. Running 2 Solemn Strikes. Solemn Strikes is a nice card, counter trap. You already know that. If a monster activates an effect, or if it's special summon, I use this card and it shuts it down and destroys it. And last but not least, 2 Solemn Judgments. Solemn Judgment, nice card in my opinion. Pretty good counter trap. Having to pay half your life points, not so good, but it is useful when used at the right time. Alright, that's it for the traps. Moving on to the extra deck. I had a bit of fun with this extra deck. We're gonna start off with Link Kuriboh. Link Kuriboh is good because I am running tons. Well, not tons, maybe like four level 1s. It's good fodder if I ever just need them in the graveyard, not on the field, but just in the graveyard per se. I am running 2 Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. Man, that's a mouthful. Try saying that 5 times fast. This card is quite useful. Its materials only require 2 dragons. Any dragons? Just 2 dragons. I contribute 1 monster, including this card itself. Special summon a dragon from my deck, but I just have to make its attack and defense 0. That's where my effect dragons come in, very useful. Most of my decent effects are already with 0 attack and 0 defense, so it doesn't really hurt them too much, and their destruction is mainly what I want them for. I'm running 1 Twin Triangle Dragon. It only takes 2 level 4 or lower monsters except tokens, so any 2 level 4 or lowers, I can use them. When this card is link summoned, I just pay 500 life points. I can target a level 5 or higher monster in my graveyard, special summon to a zone this card points to. It just can't attack this turn. Also, its effects are negated. It's mainly for another body on the field if I want to do a heavy fusion. As I said, most of my cards are gonna revolve around either dragons or dark fusions. To finish off my links, I have Security Dragon. Security Dragon is a very good card. Material only takes 2 monsters. When he's co-linked, I can just return 1 card back to my opponent's hand. Alright. Done with the links. Moving on to the XZs, which I'm only running 1. Darkness Metal Dragon. It's a very nice one. I don't know if you can see that purple on the name. Maybe.
That's not showing up well on the camera.
It is not showing that well on the camera, but I'm sure some of you at home can possibly see that a little bit. Maybe. Oh, there it is. There it is. Just for you to get a good visual of that. Alright. That'll do it for my XEs. Moving on to my fusions. As I said, this is a pretty heavy fusion deck. I am running 1 Predator Plant Dracosupelia, and 1 Starving Venom. I know what you're saying. Oh, you have those 2 cards, but you didn't run Super Poly. 90% of the decks I play will possibly not have darks in them at all, nor will they have fusions. So it's better to have them and just side deck Super Poly. I am running 2 of the Borreload Ferocious Dragons. Now this is not my boss monster, but one of my main monsters I'll be bringing out extremely repetitively. I can target 1 monster I control and 1 monster my opponent controls and destroy them both. That means I can target him as well. I can't talk today. I can target him himself and destroy 1 card I control and 1 card my opponent controls. And I have my good old boss monster right here. This is not my difference maker in the game, but it is a pretty heavy hammer. Once I hit my opponent with it, it is Red Eyes Dragoon. Dragoon be kicking butt and taking names. You know what he does. Everybody knows what he does. Archfiend Black Skull Dragon. This is my Summon Skull fusion. This is the reason Summon Skull is in here. He has no other reason. Fuse him with a Red Eyes Dragon. I can prevent my opponent from activating effects during the battle phase, which is extremely useful. That means no spells, no traps, no monster effects during the battle phase. Also, if he inflicts battle damage to my opponent, I can shuffle 1 Red Eyes monster from my deck from my grave back into the deck and inflict that monster's attack on him. Which is extremely nice. Unfortunately, I can only shuffle normal monsters that are Red Eyes back into the deck. So the highest effect damage I can deal to him is 24. And Meteor Black Comet Dragon will bring up the near end of my extra deck, seeing as how this is a very good monster. All I do is just dump 1 Red Eyes monster from my deck to the grave, and I can inflict half of its attack onto my opponent. This is a very useful card. Mainly for the fact that I can recycle my Red Eyes cards extremely well, and with Divine Dragon Apocryph, discard 1 card and I can add that back to the top of my deck. If I would like to kill my opponent with effect damage, Divine Dragon Apocryph and Black Stone of Legend would play a key role in that. I do have the ability to kill with just pure effect damage. And last but not least, 5-headed dragon. Yes, 5-headed dragon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the reason Dragon's Mirror is in this deck. Everything in this deck correlates with itself. You just have to use it in the proper way. But this is a very effective deck. Alright, that's going to do it for my deck profile. Yes, I know there's a lot of criticism, but that's the thing about this channel. All criticism is welcome. Please leave comments in the description. Yeah, leave comments. Make sure you tell me if you like it, if you hate it, what about it you didn't like. All criticism is welcome, although it may possibly be ignored. Oh, also, we will be having a Halloween battle coming up soon. Yes, I know we've been off channel for a few days. We have
2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks. Yeah. We're trying to find the appropriate time to come together and make these videos for you. But don't worry, guys. Just because we're off for a few weeks doesn't mean we've forgotten about you. Oh gosh, Doctor. I mean, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. And we'll see you in the duels. Alright, peace.